Welcome to Awakening Heaven on Earth. Before we begin, take a moment to arrive. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to believe, and nowhere you need to go. Simply listen, contemplate, and notice what stirs and resonates within you. This is a shared space of reflection, presence, and remembrance. Now, let us begin. Welcome to Awakening Heaven on Earth. In this episode, our focus is on the turning point, recommended reading. Throughout history, the awakening of the soul has been described not only in sacred texts, but also in stories, philosophy, psychology, and even modern science. These books serve as companions on the journey of remembrance. Each one illuminates the moment when something within us begins to awaken and turn within. As each book is introduced, allow yourself to listen slowly. Notice which titles resonate most deeply with you. Now, let us begin. In the book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This beloved novel tells the story of Santiago, a young shepherd who follows a mysterious dream across deserts and distant lands. Along the journey, he discovers that the treasure he seeks is not only external. It is also the internal awakening of the soul. The alchemist reminds us that life often speaks through symbols, intuition, and unexpected encounters. The turning point of awakening often begins when we dare to follow the quiet calling of our heart. In the book, Falling Upward by Richard Rohr. In this profound exploration of spiritual maturity, Richard Rohr describes the two halves of life. The first half is often devoted to building identity, structure, and stability. But the second half of life begins when those structures are questioned or broken open. It is in this second half that deeper spiritual awakening often occurs. Rohr describes this moment as a sacred falling upward. The moment when what once seemed like failure becomes the doorway to wisdom. In the book, Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. Williamson draws from the teachings of A Course in Miracles. This book invites readers to rediscover their true spiritual identity. Williamson suggests that fear is learned, but love is our natural state. The turning point of awakening often occurs when we begin to release fear and remember love. This shift changes not only our inner life, but also how we relate to the world around us. In the book, The Cloud of Unknowing by Anonymous, written in the 14th century, this mystical Christian work invites the seeker beyond intellectual understanding. The author suggests that the deepest knowledge of God arises not from thinking, but from surrendering into love. The soul enters what the mystic calls the cloud of unknowing. A sacred mystery where the mind releases its grip and the heart awakens and the soul turns. In the book, There is a River by Thomas Sugrue. This remarkable biography tells the story of Edgar Cayce, often called the sleeping prophet. Through trance readings, Cayce spoke about healing, reincarnation, and the soul's eternal journey. Cayce's life reminds us that awakening can emerge through unexpected gifts, often during moments of crisis or deep questioning. In the book, Power Through Constructive Thinking by Emmett Fox. Fox teaches that our thoughts shape the inner conditions of our lives. By consciously aligning our thinking with truth and love, we begin to transform our experience. This shift in awareness becomes a turning point, a movement from fear and limitation toward faith and spiritual remembrance. In the book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the horrors of the Nazi concentration camps, this book explores humanity's deepest search for purpose. Frankl discovered that even in the darkest circumstances, the human spirit can awaken to meaning. His work shows that the turning point of awakening often begins with the question, what is life asking of me now? In the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This modern spiritual classic explores awakening through presence. Tolle describes how identification with the thinking mind creates suffering. But when awareness returns to the present moment, something remarkable happens. The deeper and true self begins to emerge. The turning point becomes the realization that the present moment is the doorway to awakening. In the book, The Tao of Physics by Fritjof Capra. This groundbreaking work explores parallels between modern physics and ancient spiritual traditions. Capra reveals how discoveries in quantum physics echo the insights of mystics across cultures. Reality itself appears to be an interconnected dance of energy and consciousness. This scientific perspective reinforces the ancient insight that everything is deeply interconnected. In the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, written nearly 2,000 years ago by the Roman Stoic philosopher and emperor, this timeless work reminds us that wisdom begins within. Aurelius encourages the reader to look inward, cultivate virtue, and live in harmony with the greater order of the universe. The turning point of awakening is the realization that the deepest guidance arises from within the soul. Across these books, a shared message emerges. Awakening is not limited to one tradition. It appears in literature, spirituality, psychology, philosophy, and science. Each voice points toward the same quiet realization. The turning point of the soul begins when we remember who we truly are. If one of these books speaks to you, consider allowing it to accompany you on your journey. Sometimes a single page can become the spark that awakens an entire life. Now, take a slow breath and exhale slowly. And carry this remembrance gently into your day. As we come to a close, remember that this journey continues in many expressions. This podcast is part of a family of partner podcasts. Awakening Heaven on Earth. The space between heaven and earth and Living Heaven on Earth are 3 companion podcasts exploring spiritual awakening from complementary perspectives. Awakening Heaven on Earth offers the core teachings and mystical reflections on unity, love, and conscious living. The space between creates room for dialogue, reflection, and lived conversation around those teachings. Living Heaven on Earth focuses on basic spiritual practices that help embody these insights in daily life. Together, they form a unified journey of understanding, experience, and integration, inviting listeners to remember their connection with the divine, with one another, and with the living world. You can find all of them available on the same podcast streaming platforms wherever you listen. And if music helps carry these teachings deeper into the heart, the Unity, Awakening Heaven on Earth album is available on all major music streaming services as a musical companion to this journey. Wherever you engage, through listening, reflection, conversation, or music, may it gently remind you you are not separate. You belong to the one life, and heaven is already unfolding within you. Until next time, walk gently, love deeply, and embody heaven on earth.